We'll call this March 27th Commission meeting to order by leading off with pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning. Yeah.
Our first item on the agenda is bid opening hay land cutting for the fairgrounds.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Request for proposals, hay cutting on county land, Brown County Fairgrounds. Notice is hereby given that sealed bids will be opened for consideration at 8:45 a.m. March 27, 2018 in the Brown County Commission Chambers, Courthouse Annex for hay cutting on county land, approximately 24 acres located at the Brown County Fairgrounds. Lot 1, first replat of Downey Northview Edition, located in the southeast quarter of 12364, with a minimum bid of $60 per acre. 2 additional one-year options, 2019-2020, may be exercised at the discretion of the Brown County Commission, provided notification in writing is received by November 1st of the year preceding the option. All hay bales are to be removed no later than 2 weeks prior to the Brown County Fair. And we have 3. The first one is Clarence Havoc, and it is $63 per acre. Next one is Rick Piggers. He didn't go by acre. I'll just read. Rick Piggers would submit a proposal of $2,000 for hay cutting at the Brown County Fairgrounds for 2018 hay season. How many acres? So what's
63 times 24?
Yeah, we have 24 acres.
8333. $2,000, right?
Yep, 2,000 even.
Divided by 24.
Yeah.
8333 an acre.
Okay. And the third and last one.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Is Harley Moore, and he has $71. Last year it was 115, right?
No, not for hay.
What was it? I think it was pretty high when I talked to Dave. I think that's what he... Dave told me 115. What was the current hay cutting? He's going to look.
Probably a difference between what it's worth and what they're paying.
Well, 83 is a pretty nice bid.
Yeah.
I know, so too. Do we want to wait to see what it was last year? No, we don't need to wait. I would entertain a motion to accept the high bid from 8330 from Rick Piggers.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Sutton, second by Dishback. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Higher last year, we can't help it. That's what we got this year.
Yep.
But I can't believe it. I thought that was a good bid.
Yep.
Next item on the agenda is Judy Dosh with Building Superintendent Elevator Contract.
115.
I was right.
Wow.
How much?
115.
Yeah.
Wasn't that?
That's our last one.
Cheryl last year?
No, it was...
Al Reitzel.
Oh, Al.
Morning, Judy.
Good morning.
You got all your numbers together for your contract for the elevators, do you?
Finally. Yes, I do.
Oh, you and your elevators.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, they had started, they wanted to do like a 10-year contract, and then they would pay for our valve repair, that would be included in that. And so we did some negotiating here, and I told them I couldn't, you know, have a commission, you know, sign, you know, being as you guys are, you know, to encumber you guys into the next commission, you know, to hold you guys at that, you know. So what we did is we agreed to a 5-year term contract. It doesn't automatically roll over. We have to, you know, have a contract signed every 5 years. We limit it to like a 3% cap, which is really good. And how it works is, like from 8 to 4:30, that's their normal hours. You know, that will be if I call them in that time, everything should be covered except for like if it's an act of God or something, you know, or some vandalism. So your overtime, you'd have to pay your overtime and your holidays. And but I would, you know, it's not like I'd have to call them, because there's been many times I've called them and reported a problem and said, we're going to wait till Monday, because we're not going to pay that overtime. And so what we have got it down to is it's going to be like $110 a month for each elevator, and we got 2 elevators over at the jail. So that's
Roughly $2,500 a year.
I did call another elevator just to, you know, like, what would your overtime rate be? Because they're going to be doing like 300. Of the other elevators companies, it would be like the one that I called. With their overtime rates for Sundays and holidays and everything was $433.
What are we currently at?
But I only have it on one,
Okay.
and they're actually covering my new one now, because that went off in February, and they're actually covering that now till June also.
So if they fix these between working hours, no charge?
Unless it's like,
Yeah,
yep.
that's about...
How they kind of word
A lot
it.
less we've been paying.
Well, yeah, because it, yeah, most definitely, so.
And who's that through?
This is through Otis. I can read to you how their overtime works, because it's a little, you know, elevator companies are a little bit different. But it says, on callbacks outside of regular working hours, Otis will absorb the worked hours at straight time rate, and you will be charged for the overtime premium portion only, including travel time, which we actually have guy right here in town now. Otis will not invoice the full double time rate. The invoice will be for the special customer rate equal to the straight time rate of $300 per hour. And this is where you go. Repairs or callbacks that are not included in the maintenance agreement would be invoiced at a rate of $300 per hour. You know, if it's overtime in those certain. And then I made them write in here that that they will include repair of the existing check valve issue that we have here, and that they're becoming quarterly, because I wanted to set rate of how many times they would come in the year, you know.
So, and I understand it's covering everything except vandalism or Mother Nature, rain, flood, lightning, that type of thing?
Yeah, and it was not going to do, once that elevator gets, you know, the fob stuff in there, you know, that's all stuff, so they're not necessarily going to be covering any of that. That will be, you know, out of the realm of the contract.
Any other questions? I'd entertain a motion to accept the contract from Otis for $110 a month for each elevator.
Yep, it'll be $220 a month.
$220 a month.
Yep.
Move it.
Second, I just don't trust them.
I know. This is what's going on.
Pardon me? Otis. Moved by Fishback, second by Hanson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
So I'll need you to sign this.
Okay.
So I'll leave it with you.
I'll get it back to you.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Judy.
Yeah.
Next on the agenda, we have Mike Scott, landfill manager, advertising for Cell Tree construction project.
Good morning.
Morning, Mike. Morning, Bob.
Good morning. keep filling them up, huh?
What's that?
Said we keep filling them up, huh?
Thank you. Well, I guess Bob's here too, just to assist or answer any questions, but I guess we'll just start. We're looking at a bid opening date of April 17th. We're looking at the Cell 3 engineer's estimate of just under $2 million. That's just for for the construction of the cell. I guess we'll just stop there before we go on to a couple of the other things below that. Bob, do you have anything to add on the cell construction part of it? Like I said, we're looking at that bid opening about April 17th.
We think you're going to get good numbers. We think the climate's really good. We got dirt work contractors that are asking us about it all the time. Our estimate is at $1.80 cubic yard on nearly 600,000 yards of dirt. Rapid City just bid one here not too long ago and it was $1.70. We think you'll be there, or maybe, who knows, maybe even better. So if you take 10 cents, there's $60,000 in savings. So we think you're going to get great bids, and we're anxious to get this thing so we can quit talking about estimates and tell you what it is.
We got plenty of local contractors, or contractors that aren't far away, that are capable of doing this project, so.
So we just need a motion to...
Well, let's finish talking about the rest of the, we got a couple alternates that we're going to bid with this, and Bob can assist me with this, but we're looking at a leachate evaporator in with this bid as an alternate. And I'll let Bob talk about this evaporator a little bit, but we're looking to have something on site that's going to assist us in getting rid of all that wastewater. Anytime we open up a new cell, we've always got excess water to deal with, and we're going to be dealing with some of that right on site, right at the base of the slope with some sort of a retainment pond. But the leachate evaporator will do just that. It's going to evaporate that moisture over a number of years.
So how does that work?
It's like a mister, and it's almost like a snow machine kind of, but it sends a mist up and it's gone before it hits the ground. It will never leave the property. But it has the controls like a high-tech irrigation system would, where if the conditions aren't right, it'll automatically not run it. So
Air's got to be dry enough, you mean?
air's got to be dry enough. If it's raining and stuff, there's no sense running it. It'll automatically not run. If you had what we would consider a wet year where you're using it a lot, you're looking at about a 4-year, it'll pay for itself and what it saves you in manpower and hauling leachate and stuff, trying to reapply onto the landfill. And so what we think is really, it's probably
Think we should
closer.
make it rain later on? Get up
You
humidity.
can go
Well, we don't want it
around
to rain
it.
at the landfill, so it can rain over somewhere else.
But it won't be misting on the people that are out there utilizing the landfill or anything. And we think it's more realistically about a 7-year payback, where it'll pay for itself in 7 years. There are some initial costs to get the power and stuff out there that are included this time, that if you ever had to replace it, wouldn't be, because the power would already be there. And so we think it's a good deal to look into. We have done research on it, not just taking the salesman's word for it. We've talked to people that actually have it. They have been satisfied with this particular product, and so we're anxious to see how this will work too.
Does anybody in South Dakota have a leachate evaporator in any of the sites in
Not
South
in South
Dakota?
Dakota.
Is there more than one brand, or?
There are, but we researched that and we were pretty selective on how we tried to spec it. We had to have pre-competition, but we spec'd the one we liked or equal, and I'm sure you're going to end up with the one that we liked. So
Interesting.
It'll just be a benefit to us. Like I said, anytime we've opened up a new cell before, we always run into water issues and handling that moisture. So anytime any liquid contacts that waste, we've got to treat it as wastewater. So initially, when we opened up the first cell over there in that unit 2, we filled our pond up, and we actually land applied 2.5 million gallons of that water.
Bunch out, right?
We didn't have to haul it. Actually, the common came and land applied that for us on our 35 acres. But that was a one-time thing only. So far as land application, you know, that's not gonna happen again, but,
In a perfect year, this is capable of getting rid of about 3.8 million gallons with domestic.
our pond holds about 10.
We don't have perfect year in South Dakota.
So, obviously, last year, we probably lost, just in evaporation, without any added moisture, probably 1.5 million gallons out of that pond, just with
Being dry.
with being dry.
Dry. Never
You can
rained
just
out
see,
there.
Yeah.
see where it dropped on the sides.
Did not
So-
rain much out there.
No.
No.
So anyway, that's gonna be included as an alternate, along with some fence that's needed on the east side of the landfill, just as you come in. The fence has served its useful life, it's probably from the mid-70s, so. So there'll be those two alternates along with the base bid of the construction project.
And we're optimistic that you'll get those two alternates plus the base bid for what we had for a preliminary estimate for you. By the time we got final quantities worked down and everything, they were a little less than we thought, and we think you're gonna get great bids. We think you're gonna be actually under our original estimate without the alternates, so.
And the other kicker too is the $490,000 grant that we secured earlier this year. So that'll bring that total cost down also.
Is there a
Right around
deadline to
that.
use that grant?
What's that?
Is there a deadline to use that grant?
I think it's almost a 2-year
2 or 3, yeah.
timeline before but we'll have that used up, you know, this construction season. And obviously we'll be back here in another 4 years to do this all over again, so. Nancy won't, but.
I won't, I've done 3 of these now.
So, they're ongoing, so,
I'd move to set the bid date then.
I second.
yep.
Moved by Fishback, second by Hanson to set the bid date for South 3 construction project. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Item number 2.
Cleanup time.
Cleanup time, Free Spring residential cleanup, just a couple of changes from last year. First thing's tires. Obviously, last year we had a tire grant, there was unlimited quantities of tires. I think we took in over
So
600
nobody should
ton
have
of
one
tires.
for this
so-
year anyway.
So we'll accept 4 car pickup tires for free, and
And you gotta make another trip, huh?
and then they'll have to make another trip.
Remind the family up for each vehicle.
Anyway, that's one of the things. That and last year we ran into a couple things where we had a couple of big projects that tried to get in under the free cleanup, and I really didn't have anything in writing saying they couldn't do it, but I really don't want whole homes, you know, tree belts. You know, this is a residential cleanup for, you know, some pickup loads.
You don't want a house mover.
You know, maybe a side
Sit over
note,
the
but-
gate with a house on top, huh?
Last year, we had an issue with a tree belt that was getting torn down and brought out side dump after, you know,
Oh, wow.
just hammered us. So I want it clear this year that we are not,
Not doing it.
we're not gonna do that, so, just a couple of these large projects, you know, that and the mobile homes, and obviously commercially generated waste, you know, we won't accept it for free. Otherwise, 2017 numbers for the free cleanup, you know, were, what, 600 more than the previous year?
Yeah, I see that.
681.
People are getting used to it.
So, it's, you know, we had over, what, 9,000 vehicles come to the landfill last year for the free spring and fall cleanup. So, and total vehicles for the year at the landfill is 30,000. So then you're adding
Pretty
another
good
9 to
percentage,
that,
yeah.
so, you know, it's a huge event for us, and people look forward to it, and
We'll clean it up.
it works for us. So we just need a motion to waive those fees at that time. Obviously, we've got the 2 drop sites in town again, on those first 2 days, 27th and 28th, at Jensen's and at the Brown County Highway. Otherwise, nothing's really changed as far as locations and how things are done. I'll move to waive the fees.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Hanson, to waive the fees through April 27th through May 12th for free residential cleanup. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Question for you, Mike. Is it feasible to try to put a container out for just plastics, or does it get abused? I had somebody say if we could keep the plastic out of the landfill, it'd be a big plus, but what are your
plastics?
Well, milk jugs, water bottles, there's, you know, all that goes in landfill.
We've tried it out to landfill before, you know, a container there or at a drop site. They've got options, they can take them to Dependable, or, you know, for us to put a container out there for just plastics, there's so many different kinds of plastics. There's 1 through 6 or maybe 1 through 8, and the recycle only takes one. Just the contamination issue is a big problem. If they end up throwing all that material in there, they're going to have to hand sort it regardless. So it's best if that material is brought direct to the recycler.
I had somebody ask me and I didn't know.
Right.
I figured you'd probably already tried it, but
Yeah, as far as, you know, setting up a special bin for plastics.
Then you'd have trees in there, and you'd have garbage bags and everything else, because nobody would.
Yeah, they start with plastic bags, and, you know, it's, it would be I think a big maintenance issue for us. Just trying to deal with the trash alone is sometimes enough. As some of you noticed here a few weeks back, that garbage truck was broke down. We ended up with a lot of containers, big containers sitting next to the sites. The garbage truck was down for almost a week. That's when we had a big snowstorm, and we had, you know, we're just lucky it wasn't day one of 70-degree weather in the spring, because they had both their trucks broke down. So not a good scenario for us. So
Mike, I had a client come in and he asked me a question the other day about our steel, that we only haul it to one, we don't...
we've been hauling to Mardians, it's easiest for us.
And he said Myers is $10 a ton higher. Am I saying that right? $10 a ton higher?
I don't know, I haven't checked lately on the differential in the price.
Would it be, I mean, would it be more cost if we could price them out like every month or so? I don't know how often
We
you
could.
which direction you go and how often you haul.
A lot of times it's just how convenient it is for us. You know, the $10 a ton, you know, on 7 ton is $70 a load. I mean, obviously over a period of time, we generate probably 400 ton at the landfill annually of scrap steel.
Have you tried bidding it out?
No, we remove it as we generate it. But as far as bidding it, we were just looking at that as far as getting rid of recyclables. We don't have to bid it. It's more or less getting the quotes. We can look at it, but like for us, to haul it out to Myers, you know, it's, I guess it's a few more miles, but coming to town to Mardians, it's always been easier for us to do it. But
I was just thinking...
well, we can look at the price. I mean, like I said,
yeah.
it doesn't make or break us a $10 differential in price, but...
Just looking at the recyclables requirement real quick, it wasn't for this issue, so I haven't really looked into it. But the governing body of the NE can make requirements for that, so it's really up to you for how you deal with recyclables.
Okay.
Is what it looks like to me, but I'd have to look at that further.
And the only revenue generator is scrap steel. You know, obviously our electronics and anything else
It's an expense.
is an expense to us. Tires, you know, everything else is a cost for disposal. But I'll check with them as we move forward.
But just that he brought it up, that one, and then you wonder who all he talked to and who all knew about it, and what
We've
what
had
they're
brought
thinking of
some
our
there
management.
in the past, but it's been quite a while ago.
If you want to look at it, it might stop some talk.
That's fine. I have no preference. I mean, if they're higher per ton and it's, you know, we don't have any issues out there unloading, or, I mean, there's always a lot of factors that go into
Yeah,
delivering
I know.
that steel and where you take it. It's not just the money.
So I'm wondering if bidding it would generate higher prices, a higher difference.
I don't think it's worth it for the amount of scrap steel that we deal with annually, as far as bidding it out. way back when, we had recyclers coming from, they would actually come on site and bale it. Some of the other landfills do that too. They'll actually come on site and bale that material. But they're stockpiling it for years,
Yeah.
you know, and then they'll come and take care of it. But
Well, I just brought it up because it was a concern of them.
Nope,
and
that's fine.
That's why I told them I'd bring it up, so, thank you,
we'll check with them.
thank you.
What are you talking, like $4,000 a year? 400 tons, $10 a ton, $4,000 a year?
Yeah, right now I don't even know where scrap is at. It's at 50.
That's if it's at 10, it might be 6, or it could be
If
12.
it's
But
that,
was
that's the
difference.
differential.
Right,
Yeah,
So it'd be an additional $4,000.
Yeah.
yeah.
but then like you said, it comes into play, can you get unloaded like you do in the past, and what's the,
There's other factors that are involved with,
It's worth looking into and checking it out, whatever they have.
yep. We can do that,
Thank you.
and I'll check on that other issue with the electrical.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt just to see what's going on.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anything else for Mike? I think you're free to go.
Ready to go?
Alex.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Yep, thank you.
Bob.
Mike, there's a spare calendar for you.
Perfect.
With all your pictures.
Thank you.
Last year.
Is that Karen and that one of the twins?
I don't know, isn't that?
Next.
Hannah and who?
Want
The
to go through
twins.
a few of your things?
The minutes from
That's one
the
of,
general and
Jules.
special meeting minutes of March 20th.
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Fishback to approve the March 20th minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Claims.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Fishback, second by Hance to approve claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
HR
Motion carries.
report.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Fishback to approve the HR report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Lynn had put the highway gravel contract on the agenda, but that's one of those blanket ones for the supplies and materials.
Take all the bids.
The what?
Ones where he just uses all the bids.
We did that motion last
We don't need to make it?
No.
Okay.
Okay, flats. There are 8 of them.
Yeah.
There were a lot.
I'll move 'em.
I'll second them.
Moved by Fishback, second by Hance to approve the plats. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Leases, there's Mossbrucker Rodeo, and then there's Susan Serveski for a wedding reception with alcohol permit.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Fishback to approve the leases. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Authorized advertising ordinance 116 is seeable rezone that it went through the planning commission last week.
Move. Second.
Moved by Hanson, second by Sutton to authorize the first reading of ordinance 116, the Belleville rezone. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I put this on the agenda Sunday evening, because there was misunderstanding when I was gone Friday. I didn't resend the agenda to everybody because I posted it out here, which is the requirement by law, and just gave it to Paul for, I think he put it up here. Yeah.
What was added?
That, ordinance 116.
Oh, okay, okay.
Do you have anything else, Max?
No, that's it.
Gary, do you have anything for us?
A couple things. There was a request, in the past, we said we weren't going to make any exceptions to having employees log into Sundial. There was a request for a part-timer not to have to do that, and so if there's any change in policy you want to make that would allow something like that.
I can't think of any change. Is there a reason for the exception?
Just that this person doesn't want to do that. They just start, maintenance.
Policy's policy.
Okay. State's attorneys had made a request late yesterday afternoon to have Chris Heeman stay until May 7th, and he didn't think he'd be out any time before that, if that's okay with
I
everybody.
think Penny's intention was to get that on the agenda next week. And I
Okay.
can just quickly address it.
Sounds good.
I know there one of the other requests will be that we get to keep him on for next year if he's available again. 'Cause I know
Okay.
other departments want him to. And
You want an edge, is what you're saying?
I was gonna ask for it early. I'm not expecting it to be approved, but I know Chris wants to stick around, so.
Sounds good. All right.
We need another Chris Heeman or two.
Yeah.
And then I'd just like a quick personnel exec.
Entertain a motion to go into exec for personnel.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Hanson.
Sorry, Doug, also, executive session for legal, proposed or pending litigation on ag land assessment. And then Gene would be here for that, so that'll probably be something separate.
Extended also to legal
Yes.
for ag land assessments, and Gene will be in attendance with that also. I'd entertain a motion.
I did.
Oh,
We already
sorry.
have
Yeah,
We just add it to the,
Hanson and Sutton.
You wanna do personnel quick?
Yes.
First? Okay.
She'll ask for a new motion.
We were out of exec, no action as a result of exec. Anything else become before the commission? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move it.
Second. Moved by Hanson, second by Sutton to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, folks.